Yes.
Hey, Daddy.
Yeah, Chop, back here. Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Can we make something for these? I keep losing them and the dogs keep eating them.
You mean like a box?
I want to see them though.
So like a shelf,
Yeah.
a display shelf.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I think we can do that. That sounds like fun.
Okay.
All right, let's get it done.
So this is the wood that we're going to be using for the display shelf. We got it at a big box store and it's called poplar. You can also use oak wood, but oak is much harder to cut. And these are all the tools that we're going to be using to shape and join the wood. First off, we have the hand saw, which is used for making fine cuts. You don't want to use this saw because it can easily curve, which it's meant to do. You also don't want to use this saw because it will tear up your wood. And this is called a combination square, and it's made for making 90-degree angles and 45-degree angles. And this is a rubber mallet and a chisel. We'll show you what to do with those later. And obviously a pencil and a tape measure. So now that we've talked about the tools, we can start talking about the design of the shelf. There's a whole lot of ways to make this, but I want mine at 90-degree angles. This. It might not be 90-degree angles, but it's pretty close. And you can also do it slanted, but that's a whole lot harder. And we're going to be chiseling with this and this. So you want to have like a scrap piece of wood where you're working. So this is the basic design that I want my shelf. And we'll straighten it out later once we get to that point. And you don't want it right here because you're going to have to use fasteners, and we don't want to use fasteners. And you don't want it right here because it's so thin that it's easy to break off. And we want it about 1 inch in. The joint that we're going to be making today is called an edge half lap joint. And it's where you cut a slot in this piece of wood and this piece of wood. And you put them together. And voila! So now that we can start cutting, I want to cut on this line right here. And to cut straight, you look at the reflection of the wood in your saw, and if it looks straight, then your cut will be straight. But if it looks slanted, then your cut will be slanted. And a better way to do it is you get your square and you slide it up to where you want to cut, and you start cutting it. So now that I've cut halfway through, to make the second cut, you line this up with the blade, then you draw a line, and you have your second cut line. Now to cut the second line, it's important to make sure that your saw is on the inside of the line, because if you cut on the line, your slot will be too big. So now that we've made our second cut, we can start using the chisel. And make sure that where your chisel is just above where your cut ends. And then we've cut these, we can start cutting these. We've already laid out where we want to cut them, like here, 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 and here. To find out how deep we want to cut it, we take this in our square and we measure it. And then we take the square over here, measure it here, 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 and here. And then we mark it. Now we start cutting like we cut it last time. And last time I said that I needed this right here, but I didn't put it on, and now we have it.
Okay, invariably, there's always going to be a little bit of crooked lines. You need to get a sharp chisel, and you can just pare away until the line is straight.
So now that we've finished cutting, we can put it together. And now, all we have to do is paint it and put Lego tape on.
Well, there you go. The finished Lego Minifig display shelf. I think it turned out perfect.
But it's not perfect, Daddy. You can still wiggle it.
It might not be structurally perfect, but it's perfect to me. I wouldn't take $1,000 for it.
But we are going to give one away to a random subscriber who comments down below.
Don't you dare!